It was late one night and I was doing a shift at school when the power just vanished. I went to the power box and checked if it had been turned on or off, and it had been turned off, which was weird because I remember it being on. So I decided to just let it aside and pretend I thought it was me. 10 minutes later, I came back. It was still off. Scared, I kind of wondered, what's going on? Why is this happening? The lights flickered on, and I was right outside the room with the power box. I see you. Get out of there. We're alone now. I ran and ran and ran until I got out of the school. The man had never been seen since, but I am still scared that he is right behind me. I am behind you. It was a normal school day for us on a Friday. It was period 5, which was last lesson, so I was excited to go home. But then all of a sudden, the tannoy came on. Lockdown, we are going into lockdown. This is the first lockdown I've ever experienced. Well, except for a few minor lockdowns at school. But ever since then, nothing had happened. I was wondering what was happening, so I asked my teacher, and he just gave me a blank expression. My teacher was called Mr. Davis, by the way. So basically what happened after that was the scariest thing ever. A bang on the door came. It was like, oh, hello, it's Mrs. Watson. So my teacher went to the door and looked out the peephole. It wasn't Mrs. Watson. It was a tall, deranged man with a basketball bat. Baseball bat, sorry guys. With a baseball bat. He was holding a knife in his other hand. So my teacher shouted, go away, and then turned the lights off. The door smashed, and the man came in. He looked at me, looked at my friends, then grabbed the teacher and dragged him out of the classroom. I woke up, scared, realizing it was just a dream. But then, on the news, Mr. Davies had died from being attacked. I decided it would be a good idea to go on a holiday visit with school to Paris. When we got there, the campsite was lovely, and I got the opportunity to stay in a hotel with my few friends because they bought some extra cash. So we went to the hotel room and just stayed there for the night. Around 1 a.m. when we were all asleep, a noise came from the window. I looked over and nothing was there. So I just shook it off and pretended I thought it was a bird. 20 minutes later, the same noise happened again. It was really scary about this now. I was getting quite nervous. I looked at the window again, nothing was there, so I fell asleep. But before I fell asleep, I told my friends about it. They shook it off. About half an hour later, I see you in there. You look so peaceful sleeping. That was the ending moment for me, as I ripped off the bed sheets and went right to the window. There was a man looking in. I opened the window and yanked him in and punched him until he got knocked out. Then I threw him back out the window. We were on the first floor, so he probably just survived it. We then called the hotel security, and he was still knocked out when the hotel security got there. So we were so happy that he was still knocked out, and he was arrested. We stayed there for a few more nights. About 5 months later, I was asleep on my couch when I was home alone. I see you in there. Come out, Danny. He then grabbed me through the window. And that was when my parents walked in. I screamed for them as they came running, but the man was nowhere to be seen. Just whenever you hear this knock, it's gonna be a bad time for you.